What's up, everybody? I'm back. I just got home from seeing The Batman. Yes, you heard that right. I'm doing a movie review again. Because, that was like 2 years ago when I decided to stop doing them. But, decided why not? Just bring them back, for new movies that I go and see. I got a couple others that I want to do a little bit later this year. But, I went and saw the new Batman movie. And I thought, let's do a review of it. So, jumping into it, first the runtime. 3 hours. 3 hours of runtime. Holy moly, that is a long movie. I remember when people a few years ago were complaining about the It movie and how it was, no pun intended, it was very long. That was like, what, 2 hours? Barely over 2 hours? I think. Maybe a little bit 2.5. This one was 3 hours. Holy moly, 3 hours. So long. Now, granted, a lot was packed into those 3 hours, and I don't think there was a lot of dead time. Maybe it was a couple of spots where they could have cut out some stuff. That would have trained it down to maybe 2:45, maybe 2.5, but I think it was necessary to have everything in there. I think it really did not have as long as I think it needed all the stuff to fit in there. So that's my spoiler-free portion of this. So if you don't want to see the rest of this, turn it off, go watch the movie, and come back. Okay? Spoilers. There was a lot in this movie. It was a very action-packed movie. And first off, the actors. I think the guy who played Penguin was a good person to play Penguin. Played it really well. I think the person that played Riddler was very good. I think the person that played Catwoman, she was pretty good. The guy who played Batman good. I don't think he played Bruce Wayne very good. I didn't like the guy who was playing Bruce Wayne. He looked like he was chewing. He was like the guy who chews tobacco. His chin was like this, all the way out. It's super muscular and stuff like that. It's like he's chewing tobacco guy. And he looked more like Harry Potter. The guy who plays Harry Potter. I can't think of his name right off the bat, but that's who it looked like to me when he was not Batman. He played a very good Batman, though. Fit Batman very well. Did not fit Bruce Wayne very well. But it's not that big a deal. But I think that's a little bit of something to work on. But overall, I think the actors were really good in this movie. There was pretty funny. This movie was not meant to be funny. It was actually a very dramatic movie. A lot of action. Also a lot of stuff where a lot of drama involved. There's a lot of very high tense moments, and not just the punch in and the kick in. There was a very epic car chase scene between Penguin and Batman, where they were swimming, weaving in between trucks and cars, and there was a big fire and flipping over and stuff like that. I thought that was really good. As well as there was a lot of tense scenes, of course, with Batman figuring out, okay, who lied to me? This Alfred guy, he lied to me. By the way, Alfred maybe was not the best guy, but he got screwed. He comes out of a little coma after surviving a C4 bomb blast, and the first thing that Bruce Wayne tells him is, "You lied to me." Damn, dude, come on. That's a lot, but anyway, I think though that there was a lot of dramatics, and there was some funny. The Riddler had some funny puns though. The one big one was the thumb drive near the beginning of the movie. It doesn't even feel like the beginning of the movie. It was an hour in, but it was only a third into the movie. That was so long. But again, it was all necessary here for everything to happen. And then a lot of other fun things. I really did enjoy some of the character dynamics between Catwoman and Batman. I think that was pretty good. All that kind of stuff. And I think there was some good. They played a lot into politics. This plays a lot into rebellion politics, and I think it did a pretty good job of trying to make us feel sympathy for the villain. If you watch Nth Lemon's video on that, sympathy for the villain, especially with the Riddler. About how it's all about political corruptness, and we're trying to make it right. And I didn't have it great growing up, and now these people are going to feel how now it's not right. It's not right at all. But especially in that scene where Batman and Riddler are talking in Arkham prison and stuff like that, and he's talking to him and stuff like that, saying, "You had it all. You had all the money and all this stuff like that. I had to sleep with 30 people in a room, and we were getting rats eating our fingers and stuff like that. You had it so good. So good." And I'm like, yeah, he did. I mean, you can kind of see that, honestly. Now, it doesn't make me root for Riddler at all. I do think Riddler was a good person playing Riddler that made it convey the story a lot better. But regardless, you can still feel sympathy. Not as much with Penguin, not really with Falco, and then Joker makes an appearance at the end, because what's a Batman movie without the Joker at the very end? Stuff like that. I can feel sympathy for Catwoman. I can feel sympathy for Batman, Bruce Wayne, and stuff like that. And there's a lot of trouble that they got into. Also, one of the things, there's a few logistical things that I didn't quite think about. Like when he's blowing up when he blows up those vans along the waterway, and the whole city floods like there's a freaking, like it was like Hurricane Katrina over again. Would that actually happen? Because Gotham City is a recreation in New York City, right? You got Madison Square Garden, you got the Empire State Building, all this kind of stuff. Would it flood like that? I mean, the whole city went underwater. Like, it was a massive hurricane. And you're talking about New York City here. Like, I know 7 vans blew up, but really? Was it that? Would it cause that much damage? Like, it caused a ton of damage. Would it cause that much damage? I don't know. I think it was a little bit excessive because it was for the big screen. But who knows? Maybe that's what happened. Anybody who does live on a waterway and knows the situation, knows about that, comment that down below. I would like to know about that. But another thing was that the city just magically dried up so that Catwoman and Batman could drive off on their motorcycles at the end of the movie. Okay, weird. I think another thing that they really well portrayed, though, was social media, the Riddler on social media, how he got such a big following, like 500 followers and stuff, and they all it turned into like this cult around him and stuff like that, and how the Riddler was really like the main drive for the cult, but wasn't really the problem. At least that's how I portrayed it, though he was the conveying thing at the end of the story. It's like all these people are following on a cult, and the one thing that got me was when they showed his final video explaining what was about to happen with the vans and the flooding and stuff like that. He's like, "Hey guys," and I'm like, "That's how I do it. That's how I do it." That kind of thing. Like, wow, I have a very generic intro, don't I? It was weird, very, very weird. They didn't do. Well, Jeff Lamellos was watching with me, and he said that there was not a lot of stealth attacks, which is true. There wasn't really any stealth attacks at all. It was all like big man, hands on and stuff like that. Would have liked to see that, but I think for the situation, I don't think it was necessary. So really couldn't have played that much better. However, I did enjoy. Another thing I did enjoy. Was the dynamic, again, politics, right? Was very politically motivated. I think a lot of these superhero movies are very politically motivated, as far as things go, with that and everything. I think that there's a lot involved there with it. I don't know if it needs to be. I don't know if that needs to be a thing, but it is, I guess. So, who knows? It's not that big a deal for me, whatever. And then, again, it's long. I mean, Jeff Lamellos, you fell asleep. No, you fell asleep for part of the movie. I was like, why? It's so long. I feel like they could, again, but I think I liked it. I think it was a great movie. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 movie. Left a lot to desire for another movie. Because, Batman needs to have at least 10 movies before he dies, before they move on to another Batman, right? Would I say cast this Batman again? No. Cast the Batman, yes. Cast this Bruce Wayne, no. Other than that, though, all of the characters I thought did a very good job of it. So, and that's my review. My review of the Batman. So, again, I'm gonna have a few more of these coming out throughout the course of the year. So, stay tuned for those. Stay tuned for much more amazing content and stuff. Get my big plans and stuff. So, till next time, everybody. As the Riddler apparently says on his Instagram, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, bye. Also, Rip Riddler's Brew would have fit perfectly in for this.